Hi there, welcome to Gong Show Garage. Today what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to take an economical vacuum cleaner by Kenmore and try and get a little bit more life out of it. This one here is the second vacuum that we bought. We got the first one, we had it for about a year, and it totally died out on us. So we took it back, they covered it under warranty, and we got this one. They are very economically built. Like you can see that's broken. The leg on here is broken. We might do another video with Bondec to show you how to fix those things, but for right now what we're going to concentrate on today is the Powerhead. But what I really would like to show you, this is quite important, I found the success of keeping this one running for a long time, is ever since I bought this unit, I run the original bags, or actually the ones I really do prefer. I'll get a close-up of that. What I wanted to actually tell you is that if you go to your local vacuum repair shop, they have the 4 filter bags, which means the bags actually have 4 layers of filtering to them. So you actually get more stuff in them and you're not blowing the dust back out. So most people when they're vacuuming, they get dust all over the place and then they got to dust again. So if you have a filtration bag, it saves you on dusting a bit and your motor lasts you a lot longer and you can actually get more into the bag. So that's one of the secrets of keeping the motor running on it. It has overall been a decent unit, but I find the major weak spot on this thing is not the hose, which you figure because you're pulling on it all the time, is the power head. And to give you an example, it's not as bad as it was the other day because I've used it a couple times since, but after Christmas we had all the nettles and all that stuff off the trees, and the power head is just making a lot of noise. You can hear the stuff spinning around the power head. So I'm just going to vacuum a little piece here just to give you an idea of how noisy the power head is now. You can hear something's whipping around the power head. And if you don't take care of that soon, what it'll actually end up doing is it'll actually take out the bushings or bearings, whatever you want to call them, on the sides. So right now we're going to take a quick break and we're going to show you how to take it apart. Okay, we're at the stage now we're going to take the power head apart. Now what I want to do is I want to just quickly show you. You can see on the rollers here, there's all the hair and stuff like that that's wrapped around it. You want to remove all that off there and clean up the roller as best you can. But what happens is you get hair and wire and all that stuff wrapped around the ends and it gets caught in the bushings, and then that's what burns up and that's what takes out the motor, the belts and everything. So in an economical unit like this, if you do the regular maintenance on it, you will get a lot more life out of it. We will show you once we get the bottom end off it, the difference in belts and stuff, but for right now I just want to show you that basically this one's a really simple unit. It's only 2 screws, and as you can see it's a number 2 Phillips in there. Some of them might have Torx or whatever, but I'm actually surprised because I do this about every 6 months with this unit, and I've done it probably 10 times and there's still screws aren't stripping. So now you got 2 little tabs here. Now the last guy that took it apart and put it back together wasn't careful and he didn't push that piece back in, so we'll blame the cameraman for that. Oh, and the tabs on the side. I got a great memory, it's just really short. And basically that's all it is to taking it apart. So at this point what I like to do, and I'm not going to bore you with details, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to quickly vacuum it out. Actually I could probably do it real quick right here. I have to have a shop vac hooked up in the shop. Okay, as you can see, I actually pulled out, I guess it's a hook from Christmas time for ornaments. And the other day I pulled off a lot of the tinsel, but you can still see there's tinsel wrapped around here. Now the big thing I really want to show you, the secret to success of these, is I went down and I bought an old used Powerhead. And from about the 80s or 90s, they use the exact same bushings and bearings. But the ones that come in these ones are all plastic. They're really garbage. The older ones were metal. So you can see all the stuff that's wrapped around there. Look at all that stuff that's wrapped around there. And what that does is it generates heat and it stops the lubrication. So if you can clean all that stuff off. And as you can see, you guys, this is not rocket science. This is just really simple to do. And like I said, you know, if you're on a budget and you want to keep the vacuum cleaner going for a couple of years, this is how you can do it. And you can actually do this with most power heads. Okay, look at all that crap, eh? That's the one side. Now to lift it out, all you're doing is you can see there's a groove where it slides in. So what I'm going to do is lift it up, take the belt off. Now the other thing I would like to talk to you for a minute about, the quality differences in power heads. You see how this one's got a grooved belt? This is superior to a flat belt because when you're vacuuming, you grab something, the flat belt will have a tendency of slipping. If it's grooved, it's got more contact surface, so it will actually grab a little bit more. But the superior ones are actually a gear drive belt. The gear drive belt, the problem with those is sometimes you could take out the motor, but they're usually protected. The problem with the smooth ones is before the motor gets hot, it just slips and burns off the belt. So I think I've replaced this belt once, but I didn't need to. I think I just did it because I was there. But as you can see, this belt's still in good shape. You can see I'm trying to clean up the grooves. I'll do that with the vacuum. And I'm going to pull this off of this end. Once again, here. You can tell my daughter's a redhead. Tinsel around there too as well, eh? But on the ones that I got originally with the unit, these were all plastic, so you can imagine how hot that got, and it all melted. And next thing you know, the shaft doesn't stay in straight. You can actually see the wood has actually gotten hot from the original one that I had on there. And you can see this side scarred up because it got hot from the original bearings. So what I try and do is I try and clean it all out of there as best as I can. Can you grab me a pick out of there, Brent? Out of the drawer on the other side of the cabinet? Actually, you know what? I could probably get away with just doing this. I just want to make sure there's nothing in there. Most of this is just damage from the heat from the first time, but I want to make sure I've got nothing in there. Now, eventually after a while, these brushes wear out and you have to replace them because you don't get the depth anymore, but I'm still running on the original one, and I bet you I'm looking at 4 years on this unit now that I'm thinking about it. And like I said, this is easy. This is definitely not rocket science. And think about it this way, guys. If you do a really good job and you clean it all up really well, and you get the unit back to performing like brand new, and it's all cleaned up, you can surprise your wife with it. Yeah, that's right. Give it to her for her birthday. Or better yet, an anniversary. And that way, you get a really good opportunity to see how comfortable your couch is. All right. Now we're going to just clean up this. See, even though we got the bearings in there, look at that. Now, like I said, this is not really that hard to do, just a little bit tedious and a little bit time-taking. I'll just vacuum that out so you don't have to sit there and watch that forever. Now, just pull the last of the hair off. Good thing we got a good editor. He could fast forward through a lot of this stuff. But as you can see, I'm making a hell of a mess of my bench. And the other thing I do, I think this is just being a little bit overly anal, but what I like to do is I spray it down with Windex, and I wipe it all down just so that it looks really good. I'm thinking, what the hell, if I'm here right now, I'm also do it right. If you're going to do it gong show style. So all I did there is I just sprayed a little bit of Windex on, just to freshen everything up. By the way, I've gotten 3 anniversaries out of this vacuum, so it's worked every time. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly turn on the vacuum again for a second.